Welcome. I'm Colleen Tauke. I'm the sewing specialist at Fons & Porter. In this Sew Easy lesson, we're going to address using the feathered star ruler to create bias strip piecing units. Okay, to begin, we're going to start with two 12-inch squares. This one is a contrasting red and a tan. We're going to put them right sides together. And the instructions tell us that we need to cut 2-inch strips from these squares. While they're right sides together, we're going to cut through both layers at once. I've marked them. You wouldn't have to do the marking. I just wanted you to know where I was heading. So we are going to put in a ruler and we're going to cut diagonally from corner to corner across. And then we are going to cut every 2 inches so that we will yield pairs of bias strips. And then I'll show you what we're going to do with them next. So all the way across, leaving at the end, it will be a just 2 triangles, look like triangle squares quickly. Okay, so portions of it here, you'll see these are paired up, ready to be sewn. What we're going to do is go in and we're going to stitch a 1/4-inch seam allowance along the longest edge on each of these pieces. And I'll show you what those look like then. We do have instructions to have you press your seam allowances open. Usually we are pressing seam allowances to one side, but because these pieces are used in a very intricate pattern later, we are pressing all of our seam allowances open like this. So you would see the small little triangles we had turn into triangle squares. Then we have units that look like this. And you're going to have 2 of each because you would have gotten them off both directions off that large square. So we'll have a unit that looks, if we line them up, looks kind of like this. Now what we want you to have you do is actually seam these units together. So seam along here, running them even along one side, almost like a picket fence on this side. Okay, all the way across, and that will create a unit that looks similar to this. I'm going to turn this so that it will look like the printed Sew Easy, which you can go to our website and find, and it will look like this. Now that it's all pressed nice and flat, we're going to use the tool that's devised for us to cut triangle squares off of the joined areas in this unit. Now the feathered star ruler has a lot of increments on it. It's devised and designed so you can cut 54 different sizes of triangle units just with this one template. So follow the instructions for the size unit that you need for your pattern. In this sample, I'm going to cut a 1 5/8. Told you it was interesting numbers. There's a 1 5/8 inch mark on here. We're not used to cutting that size, but that's the fun part about this tool. It gives you that opportunity. I'm going to turn this so that I can cut with safety. We always want to be cutting away from our body so that we are always ensuring that if we slip away from ourselves and not toward our body. Okay, now we're going to put in the 1, slide this out just a little so you can see better, the 1 5/8 inch mark right here. We're going to line up, there's a dotted broken line diagonal. We're going to put it right on the seam allowance there. We're going to put the cut edge right along the 1 5/8 inch line, and then we can start our cutting of our pieces. Okay, the odd angle you can see. Okay, there's the first piece, and we're going to just work our way all the way along, cutting pieces there. Now you realize that once we cut here, we're just doing those long tails, but we also have them paired here. And that will give us a red and a light colored triangle. So this entire thing can be cut into small triangle squares. Now, sometimes when we're piecing and we're working with small pieces, we don't like the little tails on the ends of our little dog ears sections. So we can also just flip those over, come in and drop our ruler onto those pieces and trim the small dog ears off. Especially when we're working with really small, intricate piecing, if we can reduce the bulk, it's best. So those are the triangles, squares, using bias strips. For more of our video tutorials and sew easies, visit our website. Thanks for joining me.